Today I've come to a location, it's not a new place, I've been here before several times, but I read a news report recently that the tower up there behind me has had a major refurbishment, and it certainly looks like it has. So I wanted to come and check it out, see if it's made it more photogenic. Plus this is a location that has some sort of quite interesting wind-swept trees because of its location on the coast. So I want to check those out as well and see what we can do photographically. Got, I don't know, hour and 3/4 until sunset, so plenty of time to have a look around and decide what we're going to shoot. I hope you'll enjoy the video. If you do and you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe before you go. There's a lot of towers along this section of coastline, but this one is very different. Most of the towers are from the 16th century. They are watchtowers built to guard against pirates. This one was built in the 19th century as a library or a study, but it's obviously been built in a kind of a similar style. Well, there's certainly been a refurbishment done, but strangely it doesn't appear that they've done the whole thing. This tower in the past has been crumbling and messy and covered in graffiti. What they seem to have done is patched it up and done some repairs, but mostly on this side of it. On the other side, some of it's been done, but there's still like patches of areas that have still got graffiti on that they haven't covered, which is a bit odd. But nevertheless, it does look quite nice, and there might be a photographic opportunity there later. It is quite breezy up on this hilltop. It's quite a windy day actually today, so I think there's a possibility of an image there a bit later when the sun goes down a bit. This whole area is of historic significance. According to what I've read, there have been archaeological finds here dating back 2,500 years. There's nothing much here now that old. I think most of the interesting stuff has been removed to museums. Although there's still a few sort of odd bits of structures in the ground that still exist that may date back at least that far, I don't know. There's also lots of trees that are kind of bent and shifted by the wind because it's quite an enclosed little area, but with these trees fully exposed to any wind coming from the sea, so that a lot of them are bent over. There's also a lot of fallen and dead trees as well, and I'm kind of hoping I might be able to do something with the trees before I do something with the tower. Let's carry on having a look around. I've got a scene here that might be quite nice. Up there, there's one of those windswept trees I was talking about earlier. There's all rocks around it, a blue sky behind it. It's front lit because the sun is over there, which is why I'm squinting. So I'm going to have to turn around now. Oh, it's better. And what I'm thinking of doing is a high contrast black and white shot of that scene. Some of the rocks in the foreground, and then that tree curving across the scene, probably from sort of roughly in the middle over towards the left, with the rocks over on the right hand side, maybe some on the left as well. Making sure that the bits of the tree that are hanging down don't cross over with the rocks in the background. That's going to be really important to make sure that the tree stands out completely against that black sky. I'm going to shoot this handheld because it's very bright. I'm going to be shooting, I don't know, at least 100th of a second, maybe faster than that. So easy enough to do handheld, don't need a tripod. think I can get the moon in there as well. I think it's big enough to work. Okay, I've come down to this tree which sits kind of on the edge of a slope that goes down to the rocky beach. Now there's a few potential shots of this, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try something very different. What I'm going to do is put my fisheye lens on, get right in close so most of the tree disappears, put the horizon right the way across the middle of the scene so that the horizon at least is level, and shoot this as a high contrast black and white. I just want to see if it works. It may end up looking absolute rubbish, I don't know, but I'm also then going to do some other shots in a minute of this tree. Okay, that actually looks quite interesting on the back of the camera. It's very much about shapes and the light on the sides of the tree. Whether it actually works as an image or not, once I actually get it on the computer, I don't know. But what I'm going to do now is do a shot where I'm going to bring the whole tree in. Again, I'm going to put the horizon across the middle of the frame because I want to keep the horizon straight. I might have to correct it a little bit in post. Particularly as I'm shooting handheld, and get the whole tree in, and I want the shape, the top of the tree, like all the foliage, above the horizon. We'll see what that looks like. Okay, I'm back up by the tower. We've got about 40 minutes, 35 minutes until sunset. Today is not going to be a sunset shoot. There's no clouds. The direction of the sun isn't going to give us anything interesting. So what I want to do is concentrate on getting some side lighting on this tower. And the first shot I want to do is from this side. This is actually the prettier side of the tower because it's where most of the refurbishments have been done. But we're already losing a light on a lot of it. So I'm going to shoot a vertical composition. I'm going to go and stand kind of over there so that I can see the side lighting, and a bit of light on the sort of the rocky steps in the foreground just to add to it. I'm going to shoot this handheld again because it's going to be a fast exposure, and it's actually going to be a lot easier to do that than set the tripod up. Okay, so I grabbed a shot of the tower, went round to the other side, but honestly, the views from the other side just isn't appealing to me as much. I think perhaps at least partly because they haven't finished it, the refurbishment, but also just compositionally it's not grabbing me. And what's actually happened is a load of people have turned up now as well, so I've kind of moved away from the tower. I'm just wondering if there's another shot of the tower, or whether to try and get something else before we lose the light in the next sort of 15 minutes or so, or 20 minutes. Over in the distance, by the tower, there's a lovely little shaped tree. There's a whole load of people walking down there, and the scene is backlit. And I'm kind of thinking a shot of silhouettes with that little shaped tree and the people, telephoto, fast exposure, so that the people are nice and crisp. I'm going to take a few shots as they're moving around just to try and hopefully get them in an interesting position. Okay, the sun has now gone down. There's no clouds to light up, nothing to give us any interest. There's a few scattered clouds out there, but nothing that's going to give us any interest. And I'm going to head for home. I came out to have a look at the tower because I'd seen a news report that it had been refurbished, and I wanted to see what it looked like and if it was more photogenic now, because it was a bit of a state before. And it's nice enough, but if I'm honest, I think I've enjoyed photographing the trees today more than I did the tower. And I think probably, at least based on the images I've seen on the back of the camera, the tree images are going to be the better ones from today rather than the tower. Black and white, most of them. But I guess I won't know for sure until I get home. I've enjoyed the trip out. I hope you've enjoyed coming along. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share it on social media, leave me a comment. If you've enjoyed this video and you're new here, don't forget about hitting that subscribe button before you go. And as always, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch, so thank you very much. And until the next video, bye.